Full burst back on Saturday. Where are you at right now?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Yep, healthy.
What does that do for you going into this game of this magnitude?
Just allows me a chance to play how I know how to play and give my team my best.
Marvin said before the season, one of his goals was obviously beat the team up north, win the Big Ten championship. What does this game in particular mean to you?
Everything. This is the only game you have to win at Ohio State. So, we're ultra locked in, ultra focused.
Was last week the first time you felt fully healthy, like you had all your explosives back?
I keep getting better and better each week. So I feel like last week was the best I felt, and I feel like I'm gonna feel better this week too. So.
Mac, what stands out about Mike Samerstow and the matchup between you two that you've seen on film from them?
I don't have too much to comment about in terms of their players, but I know that we're gonna go in with a great game plan. We're gonna work our tails off this week, and we're gonna do our best. And fully trusting the coach's game plan and whatever plays are being called. I have full trust in the guy over there who's doing his interview. So, we're gonna go in and give it a good shot.
Emeka, for those of you guys that got in 2020, 2021 and don't have gold pants, when I just say that out loud, how does that sit with you? How much of a motivating factor is that you guys haven't done that yet?
Obviously, everyone in my class, we feel like we can't, leave here without gold pants. So, yeah.
How do you get motivated? Obviously, you don't have to be motivated, but be motivated by the loss of last year, but also know you have to keep your emotions at a certain point to not get too over the top.
Well, looking at it right now, it's Tuesday right now. The game's on Saturday, so you gotta, try not to spiral out of control too soon. It's a slow build until the ball hits the foot, and you can kind of let everything go at that point. So we're gonna work on staying locked in and staying focused this week to make sure we put our best foot forward on Saturday.
This game is part of something you guys do every day. Talk about preparing for this game every day. Yet you still have to be focused on the first 11 opponents each week. How's the coaching staff help you guys navigate that to be thinking about both, but not let the one influence the other?
Yeah, we know what's coming at the end of the season every single year, so that's always in the back of our mind. But you have to have ultra focus on whoever your opponent is that week, because they're going to be the most important person you play that week, since they're the only person you play. So getting that win each and every week, and focusing on that opponent is something that's super important. But like I said, you know who you're playing at the end of the year every year.
Is it hard not to look ahead at all the last couple of weeks, or is that something they do so well to keep you guys focused that way that it's not that big of a struggle?
The closer it gets, the harder it can be. But I feel like we handled Minnesota the way we should have, and we put our best foot forward there. But we were quickly off of Minnesota and on to the team up north.
Kind of off that, with everything that's going on, has been going on in Minnesota the last couple weeks, how much has Brian and the staff reinforced that idea of stay focused on what you have to do, not worrying about what's going on in their camp, what's going on over there?
Yeah, we know we have something special here in Columbus, and we have a chance to do something special. We're not focused at all on what Team of North is doing or what they have done. We're just fully focused on what we're able to accomplish here.
Along the same lines as one of Cameron's previous questions, can you get into just how important it is for you guys to keep your composure in a game like this, where there's going to be so much chirping, and you don't want to be that guy who's the second guy who kind of gets caught? You know what I mean? Just how important is that in a game like this?
Yeah, stupid penalties can really hurt you in big matchup games like these ones. There'll be, you'll have all the time in the world to let your emotions fly after all the whistles are blown and after the score settled and all that type of stuff. So keeping your emotions in check is huge.
You talk about, kind of tempering your emotions, at least at this point right now. Is there still a little bit different of a feeling going into this game as opposed to when you were a freshman, a youngster coming in?
Yeah, it kind of takes some – kind of got to experience it to know what the rivalry is like. And now that I've experienced it firsthand, just with more experience and more being able to play Team of North more, you know what it means to this university. It starts to mean something special to you as well. So the longer I've been here, the more and more I feel myself, kind of just my blood getting hot before this rivalry.
How much has the two big games you guys have played in, I know you obviously missed the Penn State game, but as a team, how much does that experience help? I know this is a different level, but how much does that help you guys going into, especially on the road, having played that way?
Yeah, when you play hard games, you kind of learn how to win in tough environments, especially Notre Dame since it was a away game. So you kind of learn, what it takes to win in those type of environments and what you have to do as a team. And even, when it's a close game like that, no one says it has to be close this weekend, but it probably is going to be. That's the way it always ends up. So, it just teaches you how to win in those scenarios.
Yeah, Emeka, I just walked up here, but so you probably already answered how you're feeling, et cetera. But what is it like to be out? What was it like to be out there Saturday, the last couple of weeks, with all of the primary weapons with this offense on the field at the same time for one of the few times really this year? What are you sensing that's different when y'all are all out there?
Yeah, I just feel like we're a really explosive unit overall. I don't think there's no secret in that. We have great weapons all over the field, and just expanding those weapons to Kyle and getting him to have a pick of who he wants to throw the ball to or hand the ball to. It's kind of hard for defenses to game plan. So trying our best to make sure everyone's healthy this week. This is a big one.
Yeah, and Travion especially, what does he add to the mix? You receivers plus Cade, everybody knows what y'all are about. What does a healthy Travion add to the mix from your viewpoint?
Yeah, Travion, I feel like he's the most explosive back in the nation. You guys have really seen his speed over this last couple of weeks. I think he's had a play of like 70 yards every single week since he's been back. So it's something that you really have to game plan for. But you also can't, slight anybody on the outside, because if you drop that extra safety in the box to handle Travion, then it allows us a chance and an opportunity down the field.
Is there one thing that really stands out to you about the difference between Kyle McCord now and Kyle McCord at the beginning of the year? It just jumps out at you.
Just experience overall. It's not really easy to grasp. It's just something that you can feel, and something that the offense has felt as a team. He's just accumulating more experience, and it's been really beneficial for him.
Emeka, how much respect is there between the players in this rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, it's a rivalry, so it's a rivalry for a reason. You don't have rivalries with, teams that you don't respect or teams that, you blow out every single year. So, yeah.
Emeka, in terms of communication in a hostile environment that you're going to be going up against, how are you guys practicing and prepping for this weekend?
Yeah, we know that it's going to be a hostile environment, and that it might be loud and rowdy, and you might not be able to hear the cadence of the quarterback and all that type of stuff. So we have measures for stuff like that.
Emeka, you guys as a class are still chasing your first win in this rivalry. How much do you feel like you guys, you third years, are really extra hungry, because for some of you it could be your last chance?
Yeah. Yeah, we're extra hungry.
How have you guys embraced playing on the road this year? Coach Dave pointed to the team meeting room, the board, the schedule, all the white spots. Like, how have you guys approached that this year playing on the road?
Playing on the road is pretty much the same approach year in and year out. You got to be able to run the ball on the road. You got to be able to play tough. You got to be able to stop the run and score touchdowns in the red zone. So the recipe never really changes. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. We've talked about it multiple times. You kind of get to go into a place where you're unwelcome and kind of embrace that and be the villain of that area, and just be able to silence the crowd by making big plays or whatever the case may be. There's something to that for sure. So just being able to embrace the environment and not let it shake you is something that's really, really big.
I'm just going to ask this carefully. You guys had to have known what's been going on in the last 5 or 6 weeks, off the field when it comes to Michigan, et cetera. Have y'all talked about that much, or how have y'all let that just slide, I guess, as you prep for this one?
Yeah, I can't talk about that today. Sorry about that.
It was worth the effort. Emeka, we saw the one play especially. It was like, I call it a skinny post, where you just took off the seam there on Saturday, took off the seam on Saturday, and Kyle got it to you. Was that moment when you felt the gas pedal was there again? I mean, when did you feel like you're back to 100% or close?
Yeah, that was my best week of practice leading up to the Minnesota game, and my coaches can confirm that. I felt fast. I felt like I was flying around, back to where I used to be. So that was really encouraging. So I was able to go out there on Saturday with more confidence than I have been. So, yeah, I've been feeling better and better each week.
What's the biggest challenge about this defense y'all are going against? Obviously, last year they made some plays in the second half especially. They got a few of those guys back, obviously. I mean, what is the biggest challenge about this defense in particular, given only 9 points a game?
I feel like the biggest challenge lies within ourselves, just making sure we're staying on track and staying consistent. We feel like we have the best group in the nation, but when we don't play like that and when we're playing, when we're off schedule or something like that, that's something we have to focus on. Cool.
Get out of here.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.